and know that when you are tuning into this, it is exactly the right time for you. So if you're not watching it in the morning, that's okay. Watch it before bed. This is going to be a good one. So I am Sitara Faye. I am ranked top 5 female psychic in the United States. I am here today specifically to walk us through a visualization that is going to open your ability to receive. So if you're feeling like you're on the precipice, if you're feeling like you are just right there about to walk into a circumstance or walk into blessings that are coming to you or walk into a feeling, I'm having a deja vu right now. How fun is that? But if you're going to be, let's say you know you're calling something in, you've been manifesting it for a while, and you feel like it's just right there. It's just right there. You haven't quite been able to bring it in. So we're going to activate our clairvoyance. Um, and I'm going to explain what clairvoyance is just so that we are going over and making that abundantly clear. Clairvoyance is the ability of your third eye. So we have clairaudience, the ability to see and hear spirit, narrowband, broadband telepathy. We have clairsentience, the ability to feel the emotion and energy of others. For me, when I was younger, that was my absolute strongest ability. So that was what it was almost debilitating to feel other people's emotions and not know. That's the thing, is that I was unconscious to the fact that I was feeling other people's energy and emotions. So the clairsentience is exactly that. Now, the clairvoyance, um, visualizing, seeing, so it's the ability to see and read energy. It is what is our imagination. It's why I believe that our imagination at such a young age is devalued and turned off, and the magic of our imagination is uh, kind of poo-pooed in elementary school, or yeah, just so young. So young. We get these abilities literally programmed out of us so that we can follow directions and stand in line and be a good boy and be a good girl. And we lose the access to our creativity. Well, from my perspective, and why I care so much about this, is that our creativity is exactly what opens our connection to our divine feminine energy, which is intuition, which is emotions, which is feelings, which is sensations, which is visualization, which is our psychic abilities, all in all. So there's so much that goes into having these connections open, and not only having these connections open, being consciously aware that you're using them, and also having a clear idea and understanding how and what for. That's when they start turning into superpowers. That's when we become the most powerful aspect of ourselves, or that's when we become the most powerful. I want to say incarnation, but I know that's not necessarily the right word. It's like we become the most powerful emanation, or we become the brightest light. I feel like this is just a little bit annoying today. um, so, today's visualization, today's connection is that we are going to be activating our third eye. And you can even just kind of tap on it a little bit right now, say hello to it. You can go ahead and tap the back. Your third eye, by the way, has a 360-degree view. There is a full, there's just a full spectrum of what your third eye can see. Now, when I'm doing a reading with somebody, it's very funny because I'll be like, it's over here, and then it's over here, and I'll talk with my hands. But it's because I'm describing what it is that I'm looking at and what I'm seeing on my reading screen using my clairvoyance. So when I'm using that, and I'm like, my eyes are closed when I'm in a reading because I see better with my eyes closed. Ironically, most people don't think that's possible, but I see better with my eyes closed. Um, I will describe where things are and what's going on by using my hands and like painting that portrait, even though the person, of course, that's receiving the reading doesn't always know exactly what it is that I'm talking about. And of course, I'm sharing that because this might also be true for you. This might also be something that when you start seeing things, the biggest block that's going to come with this, and I'm just going to tell you right now, is your own doubt. And the thing is that doubt is actually never yours. Doubt is learned. Doubt is learned from other people. Doubt is learned from failures. Doubt is never a present time. It's never a present time energy. It's never a present time thought. Doubt is one of those things that can get into the sneaky, sneaky undercurrents of your conscious mind and actually stop things before the miracle occurs. So when we're talking about, something's just kind of barely out of reach, but we want to bring it in, well, a lot of that is eliminating doubt. And a lot of it is eliminating our own resistance. Do we really want it? If we're calling something in, do we really want it? What sacrifices are we going to have to make in our life that's going to allow this to come in? That's really what it comes down to. It's are we willing to embody the version of ourselves that we need to be to call in what we're calling in? So right now for myself, I have a really, really big prayer. I have a really big prayer with this program, Rise, and Rise is just the beginning. So I have a really big prayer of what I am creating and how I want to serve and how I want to show up. We've got a comment coming in. Oh my gosh, the self-doubt is such a constant struggle or blockage, even though I've seen enough. It's like that doubt that keeps rearing its head will literally be the thing that stops you from believing what you are seeing. And so when I say I see better with my eyes closed, what I'm saying is that I can see into the fifth dimension. I can see in and I want you to know this, the fifth dimension is not somewhere out there. The fifth dimension is right here. It's right here. It's a frequency. It's a frequency that we can elevate our consciousness up to in a way that opens our ability to see into that dimension. So this takes a bit of time. This takes a bit of trial and error. And this is why with Rise, I'm going to be teaching the techniques and methods, but also the actions and behaviors that are required to fortify a very strong self-belief in what it is that you are seeing, so that you have unwavering faith in your own confidence and you have unwavering faith in what it is that you are seeing, to know that you become unmanipulatable. And I kind of made up that word, but I have a video here on YouTube. It's called How to Become Unmanipulatable. How to see between how to see through lies, how to read between the lines, how to see what's actually going on, and being able to, and we want to be very careful, because the shadow side of this is creating a story in your mind that is self-serving, that creates a delusion of belief. So this is the shadow. This is where the ego gets involved. And the ego gets involved because there's a self-righteousness that the ego wants when you start going down the healing path. So the ego gets like fed from this self-righteousness sort of thing. And so when we're able to, and if you're on the call right now, please don't read me. I can feel it, and it throws me off when I'm sending or transmitting energy here. So allowing that understanding. Let me back up. Let me reconnect here. Ia siatarai ia nai kia sutuna kua puna kia haakai ia suturo nai wa pua haaka tiatarai ia nai wa pua koatarai. Ia teatri nia wa pua kia sarai kia tarai ia no kua pukua tarai ia tia sia toro 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 tarai ia teatarai ia no kua potakai. Ia siatarai ia tono kua pukua tarai hi ikia sukua pua haaka. Forgot about that part of doing lives. How exciting. All right, so let's just go ahead and get into the transmission. Do you guys like my black mug? Little monad mug, activating all senses today. I switched from coffee to a mushroom blend, adaptogenic mushroom blend, and oh my gosh, I feel so much better. It's lovely. All right, so let's go ahead and take a couple nice big deep breaths. As we call in divine truth and love into this sacred space, we invoke the highest possible healing for each and every viewer, replayer, and myself. We ask for the courage and compassion to speak and to hear from the purest form of self love and forgiveness to all involved. All right, very gently and very kindly go ahead and bring your awareness and your focus from your root chakra all the way down to the center of the planet. Allowing your energy to be rooted, connected. Now, this is interesting. As we're getting started in this, my guides are encouraging me to talk a little bit about ethics, which is not always like a major key thing, but that I talk about, but it's coming up, so I'm going to discuss it. When we start getting into the energetic world, I've talked about this with some of my more higher level corporate clients, is that um, it's like that we reserve the right to refuse service to anyone. It is very important for me to feel that it is aligned for me to share this information with people whose word is good and heart is pure. Because when we are connecting very, very clearly, oh, I see a few people dropped off. I think that's why my guides were telling me that. That it is so important for us to be clear and to be sure that our word is good and our heart is pure. That with this information and knowing how to work with energy in this way, it's I believe that a lot of people don't fully embody their true power, their full power, mostly because they're afraid of what happens with their true power. What happens when they're fully embodied in their power? How, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you trust yourself and trust yourself that you are not going to evoke harm on anybody else? That's another component of this that will block, that absolutely will block you subconsciously from fully embodying your power and fully being able to feel into and sink into the flow of what it means to be fully aligned with the truth of your divinity and the truth of who you are. And I do believe that part of that is that when we identify with the collective unconscious and we see so much pain and anguish in the world, there's a lot that goes on in the subconscious mind that blocks us from being in these seats of power, let's say. And so by connecting with and trusting yourself so clearly and so fully and so unabashedly that the truth of your divinity is the light that emanates and that shines from the inside out. That is what is felt. That is what is tangible. That's why you're drawn to watch my videos, because you feel that part of my own magnetism. You feel that part of the goodness of within my own heart that I have spent years cultivating and healing. I have been through my own trauma. I have been through all sorts of things that by looking at me now, you may not think that I have survived or lived through. And through all of those circumstances, I have done my absolute best. And sometimes it's taken me years, but I've done my absolute best to come back to a place of wholeness within my heart, to use my abilities to help and support others in really strong and really powerful ways. And I've had blind spots that have knocked me on my butt. I've had my ass handed to me. That the righteousness and the delusion, I'm speaking from the inside out. I want you to know that truthfully, when I share this information and when I share these kinds of lessons and these kinds of teachings, it's coming from such a grounded and rooted and fortified place within myself. Yes, I was born with these abilities. Yes, I was born with a heightened sense of intuition. Yes, it was completely destroyed through all sorts of different kinds of trauma. Yes, I had to learn how to re-embody it. Yes, I had to move through my own doubts and fears. Yes, the fears part and that fear of who am I to embody this, when I was, young in my adolescence and making all sorts of mistakes, and I'm not going to sit here and say that I haven't created harm or pain in somebody else's life. We all have. We've all been the villain in somebody else's story. But what I can say is that from this place and where I want to be sharing these abilities and this awareness with you, one is because you already have them. You already know everything I'm about to share with you. And I was taught my abilities by this thing and this thing and this thing and this spiritual technology and this and this and this. That's not how I teach. I teach from a place of embodied self-trust. That when you learn how to trust yourself with such unwavering faith and unwavering confidence, you don't need all of these tools and mechanisms and all of these things. That's not what it's about. Your natural innate abilities open up when you learn how to trust the most heightened senses that you have. And so, where we have to start is learning what the senses are. Because I can tell you right now, 100% of the population, 100%, is using their psychic abilities and they don't know it. I don't care if you're evangelical Christian. I don't care if you're devout, whatever religious beliefs that you have. I don't that doesn't matter. That doesn't mean you don't have the abilities. It just means that you've turned the blind spot on to not see, hear, or understand them. Yes, some people have born into this world with a heightened sense of connection to divinity. Yes, some people have been born with mediumship abilities. Not all psychics are mediums, but all mediums are psychics. Medium is the ability to communicate with the fifth dimension. Mediumship is the ability to communicate with spirit outside of body. So that's beyond the third dimension. That's beyond this world of matter that we live in. Are you guys picking up what I'm putting down? So I can see why I had that little, my guides were like, hey, slow down. We gotta have a little chat. I have a best friend in high school. Her mom would say we had to have a come to Jesus meeting. Circle the wagons. Come back to square one before we take off a little bit. So, all right, good. We're getting some thumbs ups. Yes, speak it. All right. So the clairvoyance. Back to the lesson at hand. And the reason I'm just going to carry on after having that little soapbox conversation is because I trust, like we saw when I said the word ethics, a few people dropped off the live. Okay, cool. We see that. We get that. There's a certain level of protection that even on YouTube is available, in the sense that some of you will find this video and go, I don't know how I found it, but you needed this information. There was a part of you or your guides that brought you to my channel, that brought you to this particular video. And there's certain people that will be like, she's boring, she sounds annoying, she did blah, blah, blah. Doesn't matter what the thought is, they'll pop off. So there's a certain level of protection that takes place here. And there's some people that will hear that and go, that doesn't make sense, that's not real, that's not blah. They still won't be able to hear what I'm saying. They will literally they will listen to the sound coming from my voice, but they will not hear it. They'll zone out. They won't be able to hear it. They won't be able to receive it. So here we go. Welcome to the party. All right. So nice big deep breath. Root chakra connected to the center of the planet. Anchoring the gentle presence of your innocence, your innate life force energy, Just feeling that soft, gentle energy that is around you. And go ahead and ask yourself, your higher self, where are you limiting yourself right now? And without trying to answer the question, just simply body scan. So from your mind's eye, scan your body from the crown of your head down to your toes. And find where you are limited. And go ahead and just simply identify it as a color. And just feel what you feel, notice what you notice. You may have already gone into a natural self-healing, where you're very gently having a conversation, an internal dialogue with that limit, in whatever way that limit is showing up. So breathe gently, breathe easily, breathe kindly. Allow the presence of your inner knowing to be your guide. Allow your inner knowing, your inner being, to walk you through a self-healing process right now. So where the ego is attached to this limit, because the ego's job is to protect you. So the ego creates limits from past experiences in all sorts of different ways. Allowing that energy to go from your root chakra again all the way down to the center of Mama Gaia. Just being very, very gentle with yourself. There's no need to rush. There's no need to push. There's no need to force. And just simply letting go. As you honor the truth of your own divinity. Yo, 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 yo. Yo, 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 yana, yo, yana, yo, ya, yo. And let go. And take a moment to see yourself. Visualize yourself fully embodied in your power. Let that version of yourself come into your view. Let your heart open in miraculous and powerful ways as you receive the encouragement, the messages, and the telepathic communication from this version of yourself. As you are embodying your own divinity. Drinking from the cup of your own pure innocence that lives within you and always has. Your innocence can never be taken from you. It never lives outside of your body. So as you recover and release the layers of protection from which you have buried your own innocence, that is a direct correlation to your own power. Satana kuno hayayo, ya satana kuno hayayo. And again, just very gently allowing the presence of that full embodiment of your divine power, your divine presence. Allow that aspect of yourself and invite that aspect of yourself to fully merge with the physical form that you are now. And I'll give you a moment to experience this in silence in your own space. And whatever needs to be rearranged or let go of, you can liquefy it, you can drop it down your grounding cord, you can change it, transmute it to gold. Excuse me. Go ahead to take a moment to use your hands to feel your body. Just feel your shoulders, feel your neck, and touch the crown of your head. Go ahead and squeeze your legs. Maybe brush off the bottom of your feet. And take a nice big deep breath in through the nose and And as you release out through your mouth, go ahead and connect root chakra all the way down to the center of the planet. So in through the nose, filling your lungs all the way to the tippy, tippy, tippy top, and hold it. Squeeze your perineum right there at the base of your spine. Just squeeze those sit muscles. Feel that rush of energy go from your root chakra all the way to the crown of your head. Watch as it fountains out the crown of your head and fills your entire auric field with that light energy, creating that toric field as you connect that fountain into your root chakra. Now you've consciously activated a toroidal field around your body. So as you strengthen your connection to this toroidal field, your physical body and your energetic body, all aspects of your causal body, will continue to release and receive this cleansing. So go ahead and open that grounding cord to about 5 to 10 feet in diameter. So it's almost like you're sitting above a giant hole, a giant tube that just goes all the way down to the center of the earth. Let go of all your worries, let go of all your doubts, let go of all your fears. Allowing yourself to be fully embodied in your innocence, in your power, in your presence in this moment. Connecting to the root chakra, groundedness in your physical form. We're not going anywhere. We're staying very present in our body. This is an active, conscious body being presence. Yo siatarai ia no kua pua kua haakarai. Yo toro kono pua koto krakai. Yo no kuro kura kapakuna krakai. Si toro kua puaka. I tiatarai ia nakarai. Yo wapua siatarai ia tri nia kia pua pura krakai. Ia siatarai ia tri ia na ia hia yo kua pua kua sa 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 sa. And connecting all the way down to the center of the earth. Let go. And so I encourage you after this video to go ahead and take a journal and journal with yourself. What did you see? What are you promising yourself? Because there's some behavior patterns that'll have to change as you step into this. Otherwise, you would already be that. So let's look at what behavior patterns you can reconcile within yourself by writing that letter to yourself. Let this be a New Year's Day. Let this experience, let this video be a marker of a different era. It can be that if you choose that for yourself. And I'm very much encouraging you to do so, because we're here, we're ready, it's time. The light of human consciousness, the light of illumination from the core of our heart, the core of our beingness, it's time for it to come online, and it's time for all of us to come online. You are so wildly supported. You are so wildly guided. You are so, you are never, never, never alone. So if you ever feel that you have to do anything in this world, creation-wise, alone, that's not true. What's important is that we learn how to connect with our star beings and our star guides. I genuinely believe that we all have a family of light that was there with us when we signed the contract and agreed to come into this incarnation, as you are right now, and me as I am right now. So as we're connecting in to the reality of what that means, when we're connecting into the reality of that heart space for ourselves, to be able to be so connected in strength to those that are supporting us, you're very welcome. That we're able to see more of the light of our own divinity as well. And that fearlessness really starts to come online in a very, very big way. And that's when we start embodying our purpose, embodying our path, embodying these things that we're here to do. So, speaking of that, please connect with me, right? Type rise into my Instagram direct messages. Find me on Instagram, direct message me, type in the word rise. There will be a conversation that's activated so that I can learn more about your own business and what it is that you are creating. And if you're not a business owner or an entrepreneur, that's okay. If you're feeling called, I encourage you to gather the information for it and join us on this journey if it's meant to be and designed to be a part of your life experience. I would absolutely love to connect with you in this way. Rise is designed to be an 8-week program or more if you choose to stay in it for longer, but it's designed to be a program that changes our behaviors, our habits, our awareness, what we see we are capable of by learning how to really hone in, harness, and connect with our own energetic field. And so I believe that when we practice very conscious energetic hygiene and that we are very clear with how we are composing our energetic frequency. And the thing about frequency is that I have this term that I call vibrational integrity. You cannot fake frequency. You cannot create a facade of energy. You can fool people with it for sure if you are not fully in your own integrity, and there are people that are not able to see it, which is why we had that conversation about ethics. So what we're talking about is being able to hone in and harness your energy in such a way that what magnetizes into your life is what is already in your vortex, as Abraham would call it through Esther Hicks. Um, but ultimately, also in the way that I would say it, is that you're embodying your soul purpose, you're embodying your full divinity, you're embodying the reason you came into this world, and you're showing up for yourself. So that's what we're going to be doing. That's what we're going to be doing in Rise. We're going to be having some very black and white, third dimensional conversations, and we're going to be having some very powerful, multidimensional conversations. But we have to make sure that you're healthy, you're well, you're live. Ravenheart, yay! Yep, doing live videos again. But we want to make sure that you are standard, grounded, founded before we start really turning the volume up in the awareness of the electromagnetic field and the multiple dimensions of awareness that we're in all the time. So no matters if you're an energy novice or an energy expert, there is going to be so much information and so much support and accountability that this program offers, that, like I said, if you're feeling the call, if you're feeling that ping in your heart that's saying, yes, this is for me, I really want to encourage you to join in and participate with us. So we just had a bump of new people coming in here right at the end. So we're about to close it out, but I would absolutely love and encourage you to go back and tune in from the beginning. This one was very powerful, very deep, very succinct. So thank you, thank you, thank you all for your presence. Please do grab that pen and paper and journal. Spend 5 minutes minimum. Just start writing, right until you don't have anything to write anymore. But just start writing after we close this out. So let's take a nice big deep breath. Hands on heart. Deep bow of gratitude to each of you for your presence. Of course, we're playing this algorithm game, so please like, share, comment, word of mouth, tell your friends. Or better yet, let them ask you about the new illumination that you're walking around with. And as we go forth, may we integrate the healing and the lessons received with courage, self-love, and compassion. Our session here is very much complete. Love you, adore you, appreciate you. Thank you for being here with me, and I will see you again mañana. Mwah. Ciao, ciao.